All right, greetings to the 12 tribes of Israel, scattered, dispersed, but not destroyed. My name is Yemi'el ben Yahuda. I'd like to welcome you to the Truth of the Awakening Remnant Coalition Dallas. We are here on this beautiful Shabbat day. Yahushua HaMashiach, and giving our praise to Yahuwah, who is our Elohim. Elohim. We thank you for joining us once again and spending your Shabbat with us. Has been one of them weeks, y'all, that I want to share with you a few things, touch base with you on a few things, and just enlighten you on a few things before we go into our message. First of all, is it breaking up now? Let me know if it's breaking up. As we begin to build relationship, as we begin to build covenant, as we begin to align ourselves, let me rephrase all that. As we begin to align ourselves with the covenant, yes, and it's delayed. Hold on. Okay, how is it now? Let me know. So, y'all, we're in the process of what I would call, or what most of the people in our walk would call, the awakening. And I know uncertain terms, is this thing easy? For one, we have a blueprint to follow. That's why I think I'm going into Nehemiah. And if you get it for what it's worth, you will get an understanding of what we are facing as the covenant people of the book. It should open up your mind to getting more of a grasp of more of a physical understanding of what Scripture is trying to teach us. We run into cognitive delay because this is so new to us. We run into delays because there's kickback to development as a people. This can be scary. And I can honestly see how we can be fearful in this moment, because the concept of this is new. Listen, y'all. If you're not learning anything from the book of Nehemiah, understand this. Yeah, it sounds bad. Reach out to you, because usually when he comes on, it's smoothed out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's going.
How do I
We're going.
sound to you?
The audio is going in and out. The reception is clear, but the audio is going in and out.
I'm gonna back out, and you stay on. Just do your introduction, and then
Okay. Shabbat Shalom, family. This is Yosef Ben Yisrael of the RPFW. Happy Shabbat. Yeah, we're here again today on the Shabbat, and we are excited and delighted to be here with you. I'm sure that I don't know how far Yemi has gotten into his introduction, but we're looking forward to uh, uh, continuing into the fifth chapter of Nehemiah, and just happy to be here with the family. And I hope that you all are having a great day. This is Yah's day that was instituted by Him from creation. He set this day apart, sanctified it, made it holy as a day of rest for Himself. After 6 days of creation, He rested on that seventh day, and He sanctified it. He set it apart as His holy day, and we want to always be mindful of that. Before there was a Moses, the lawgiver, before there was a law, before there was Torah, the Father instituted the Holy Shabbat. And we want to uh, be in agreement with Him. And we want to move as He has moved and as His Son has moved, Yeshua HaMashiach, also observed the Sabbath and kept it holy. And so we want to do the same thing. We do realize that we are not in the land of our nativity, we're in the land of our captivity, and some of us are unable because of job and because of our jobs, occupations. But that does not prevent us from sanctifying this day in our hearts as the Father's holy day. And so, again, we're glad and always glad and happy and excited to be um, available to you and looking forward to Yemi's teaching and his lesson today. And we are grateful. When I say we, I mean we are grateful that to be involved and to be a part of this uh, teaching and this time together.
can you hear me better now?
I can, yes.
Okay, y'all. I'm gonna tell you this is gonna be a hard lesson for me to go through, and Joseph will verify this. I'm all over the place right now, y'all, and I got to tell y'all why. And it chimes with the message, but I got to tell you this, and I'm not ashamed of it. But I'm gonna break it down to you the way Joseph broke it down to me this morning. As we grow, we're going through growing pains. I ain't got it all together. I don't know it all, and nor do I pretend to. I'm not going to sit up here and be one of them super brews that can quote line for line, verse for verse, scripture. I can't do it. I'm dyslexic. I can't. Um, but as I'm growing in Him, He is pushing me, and it ain't comfortable. Okay, it's not comfortable at all to be pushed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're being pushed to do something that you really want to do. As you mature in a thing and go and grow,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to experience life pains. This ministry thing, um, if you want to call it that, accentuates it because you are putting yourself under the scrutiny of the Most High. When He refines you, you are being refined. I don't care what nobody say. And I'm going to throw this analogy out. People prune trees and prune flowers and plants all the time, and it's nothing to us to do. But we don't never ask the flower or the tree or the plant how it feels. And I'm
Right.
here to tell you, as a flower or a tree or a plant or a vine being pruned, it don't feel good. It hurts. And it's not an emotional hurt, it's more of a developmental pain wherein you know that something's different in you,
Mm-hmm.
but you are trying to catch up to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've told y'all for the last few months, I'm going through some things. And during these feasts and these high holy days, he has been whacking away and taking away stuff from me. And as he takes away, he adds to. So y'all gotta understand, things may not come out the same way as they used to with me. Um, but I'm seeing some flaws in myself that I don't like, and I'm thankful to the Most High for removing them, um, taking them away. And don't think Hasatan don't see it happening, and he ain't pleased either, because he would much rather me remain stagnant than me to tap into what God, but what Yahuwah Yahuwah has inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to move on with this lesson, and I want you to see this because when we came out of captivity, out of the Mede Persian captivity, back into the land to build the wall, Nehemiah and those people that were in in Jerusalem, or in Jerusalem, were going through the same pains. Understand, they are 70 years removed from keeping Torah. You know, they're 70 years removed from all the cultural things.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to find a culture without a blueprint. Well, let me quit lying. We're trying to understand a culture with a blueprint that we've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the scripture can tell you to do this, do this, do this, do this, do that, do this, do this, do this. But if you ain't never seen it, you don't know how it looks.
Right.
And so you may think you on point, but you really don't know what it looked like. So you don't have a guide unless the Ruach HaKodesh says, okay, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, y'all, even in this faith and even in this walk and even in us gaining our heritage back, the Ruach ain't talking to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know that you know. And you got to be receptive to, because the Ruach don't just talk to you and tell you good things. It criticizes you too. It chastises. It exposes flaws. So when we look at Nehemiah and them rebuilding the wall, and Ezra and Nehemiah trying to get the people of Yasharel back in motion, or back in practice, or back on task,
Mm-hmm.
you are seeing the growing pains. There's going to be inward attacks you'll see in this chapter, and there's going to be outward attacks. And you have to learn how to balance them both while still staying on task. Because regardless of what you're going through emotionally or physically, or no matter what's coming at you from the outside, you still have a goal. You still have a standard that you have to keep. So as Joseph gets ready to start reading, I want y'all to keep that in mind, regardless of what it is you're going through, regardless of what it is that you're facing right now in your walk, you still have a standard to keep.
Yes.
You still have Torah that you have to keep. And it's not easy, y'all. You got to learn. And Yah knows this. Yah knows that you're learning. But that's not preventing him from teaching. He's not going to stop refining you just because you got bumps.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever made pottery before, if you've ever built anything with your bare hands, you don't stop building what you're building because it don't look right at the moment. You're still sanding. If you're building a structure out of wood, there's still sanding. There's still more things that need to be added. There's a lot. He don't stop building a house just because it ain't got the siding on it. He gonna keep beating them nails until the side get put up, then the brickwork. So that's what's going on right now with us as a people. And y'all, there's enough outside distractions that where I want to tell you now, focus on those first 5 books. Focus on Torah. Start learning Torah. And then start learning the prophets. You can read Torah and start learning it, but you can also read the prophets too and start getting an idea of what's going on. Because I'm starting to realize some things that I really didn't understand at first.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good for your growth to be pushed in all areas of this walk because it validates the fact that it ain't easy. All right, Aki, go ahead.
Okay. Nehemiah chapter 5, and we're going to read that entire chapter. And I'm reading from the King James Version, and it reads as follows. And there was a great cry of the people and of their wives against their brethren, the Jews. For there were that said, we, our sons, and our daughters are many. Therefore we take up corn for them that we may eat and live. Some also said, some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our lands, vineyards, and houses that we might buy corn because of the dearth. There were also that said, we have borrowed money for the king's tribute, and that upon our lands and vineyards. Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our children as their children. And lo, we bring into bondage our sons and our daughters to be servants. And some of our daughters are brought unto bondage already. Neither is it in our power to redeem them, for other men have our lands and vineyards. And I was very angry when I heard their cry and these words. Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles and the rulers, and said unto them, Ye exact usury, every one of his brother. And I set a great assembly against them. And I said unto them, We, after our ability, have redeemed our brethren the Jews, which were sold unto the heathen. And will ye even sell your brethren? Or shall they be sold unto us? Then held they their peace, and found nothing to answer. Also I said, It is not good that ye do. Ought ye not to walk in the fear of our Elohim because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies? I likewise and my brethren and my servants might exact of them money and corn. I pray you, let us leave off this usury. Restore, I pray, restore, I pray you to them even this day their lands, their vineyards, their olive yards, and their houses, also the 100th part of the money, and of the corn and wine and the oil that ye exact of them. Then said they, we will restore them, and will require nothing of them. So we will do as thou sayest. Then I called the priest and took an oath of them that they should do according to this promise. Also I shook my lap and said, so Elohim shake out every man from his house and from his labor that performeth not this promise. Even thus be he shaken out and empty. And all the congregation said, Amen, and praise Yahuwah. And the people did according to this promise. I'm in verse 14. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year, even unto the 2 and 30th year of Artaxerxes, the king, that is, 12 years, I and my brethren have not eaten the bread of the governor. But the former governors that had been before me were chargeable unto the people, and had taken of them bread and wine, beside 40 shekels of silver. Yea, even their servants bear rule over the people. But so did not I, because of the fear of Yah. Yea, also I continued in the work of this wall, neither bought we any land, and all my servants were gathered there thither unto the work. Moreover, there were at my table 150 of the Jews and rulers, besides those that came unto us from among the heathen that are about us. Now that which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep. Also fowls were prepared for me, and once in 10 days store of all sorts of wine. Yet for all this required not I the bread of the governor, because the bondage was heavy upon this people. Think upon me, my Elohim, for good, according to all that I have done for this people. And
Wow.
that concludes the
Wow.
reading of chapter 5 of Nehemiah.
Okay, here I come. So, when we start looking at this scripture, we're seeing those who returned back from what I would say captivity, um, actually being tormented, um, but not by strangers. Well, by strangers, but by themselves. And so much that the women, as women do, tend to do, they're bringing it to the attention of their husbands.
Mm-hmm.
And they're telling you, they're telling us basically, look, these folks have taken into captivity our daughters and our lands and our vineyards
Mm-hmm.
and our resources. And not only are they taking these things into their possession, but they're charging us usury or tax
Mm-hmm.
or interest
Mm-hmm.
on these properties so that we can never make up the difference to regain our land back. This is very important for you to know that it is unlawful to charge your brother or your kinsman interest on a loan. Now, I'm going to say some things right about now that are going to cause some issue. But I want you to understand this from this perspective. What caused World War II was not that Hitler just hated the Ashkenazim. The first thing that Hitler did when he went into office was he stopped interest on loans
Mm-hmm.
and he stopped pornography,
Mm-hmm.
both controlled by the Ashkenazim.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lie, it is a fact. It is a historical fact. Nehemiah is being pushed to do the same exact thing
Mm-hmm.
outside of the murdering and the killing and all that stuff, but to prevent usury from being charged on the people.
Mm-hmm.
This is important, y'all, because to borrow money, they also put their lands
Mm-hmm.
as collateral. And now they're paying with the produce of the land. There's just, as it looks, there's no end in sight for these folks. And so now their daughters are being taken as collateral and being to become servants
Mm-hmm.
to these people whom their family has taken out loans.
Mm-hmm.
It's evil, y'all, in the sights of Yahuwah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You remember how I told you there's always something going on outside when even when we're trying to be developed? Think about this. And I need y'all to all concentrate on this one thought. That even now, many of us would live a whole lot better life if there was no tax, I mean no interest on your home,
Mm-hmm.
on your vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
on personal loans that you had to take out. Most
Mm-hmm.
of us take out personal loans to catch up because we're behind on everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's not it's just the truth. And so in this, we have to understand that what Nehemiah now is doing is trying to shift them back to Toretic thinking
Mm-hmm.
because your captives charge you a tax, charge you interest.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have to go through that dealing with your own people,
Wrong people.
especially since it's never been Yah's program to put you into bondage,
Mm-hmm.
into debt. There we go. That's the word, debt. He is the biggest debt reliever in the history of debt relief.
Yeah.
It is Yah's goal that we live without tax or without debt. Because once you become indebted to something, you make it your God. Because now you are trying to work off that debt. And so now you don't have the time to spend with Yah.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine if we were all debt free right now. Yosef, would you get up in the morning and hit that clock?
Mm-mm. Nope.
That that that's what I'm trying to tell you. By liberation of debt and of usury,
Mm-hmm.
it allows the people to focus on the standard.
Mm-hmm.
What is the standard at this moment? The standard is returning back to Yah and building the wall.
Mm-hmm.
They can't focus on the work of the wall because they got all this extra baggage going on in their daily walk. Y'all, it's just that simple. It is my prayer for us that Yah begins to relieve us of our debts. Listen, when Yasharel left out of captivity, you got to understand that was the biggest transference of wealth at that time. They left out without debt. They owed their captive nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so being liberated from debt allowed them to go out and walk the land and to gain covenant or relationship with the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
There are spiritual debts that we have on us that we have to repay. There are emotional debts and damages that we need to repay. Or if you are the one that is causing the debt or the damage, that you need to forgive. Ooh, that just hit me. Ooh, boy, that just hit me across my head, neck, and shoulder area right there. I said, I said a mouthful. There are certain debts that you have to allow to be forgiven. It's the only way that you are going to advance in this walk. There are people that owe you things that you are going to have to relieve them of that usury. And the usury may not be interest. It may not be a monetary interest, but it may be you always reminding that Negro that they owe you money. They
Yeah.
know they owe you. they they hate to see you coming because they know you gonna mention they debt. Wow.
Yeah.
You have to put yourself in a position to be willing to forgive your debtors, forgive your debts as you forgive your debtors. I know you want to say something, Joseph.
I'm staying quiet till you. Hey, you go ahead. I do, but hey, you know.
By forgiving your debts, forgiving the people that owe you, Yah forgives you of the debt you owe him.
Yes. Yes.
And your debt was paid in blood. You want some fiat currency back for your debt. But the debt that you are owed, the debt that you owe was paid in blood.
Yeah.
It was paid in a currency that you can't even calculate in your mind.
What?
Many of us, huh?
I'm sorry for interrupting, but how the ancestors said that rich royal blood of Hamashiach.
Yes.
I know it was the blood.
I plead the blood. You plead the blood because your debt goes against the covenant.
Yes.
Y'all listen to me, y'all. When I tell y'all this is gonna mess you up. I think it's I think it's Deuteronomy chapter 6. If not, we can go to 28:1, but I think it's chapter 6.
And what is he making reference to?
When we took the oath, when we accepted the covenant.
Let's see here. Are you talking about all that he has said we shall do?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Let me covenant. It's covenant goes from 6, 7, chapter 6, chapter 7. I'm pulling up chapter 8, looking for that.
It might be 9.
Okay.
I tell you, I'm dyslexic. It's when we were at the foot of the mountain and
Mm-hmm.
we accepted the covenant.
You there. Just I gotta uh let me pull up a keyword.
If you promise and swear to do,
Let me see if I can pull it up that way.
y'all forgive me. I know where I'm going with this.
Let's
I
see.
know where he's leading me with this.
While we're scrolling, let's see.
Is it Exodus 6?
Let's see.
Well, just go to Deuteronomy 28.
Okay. My you all forgive me. My let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go to Deuteronomy 28.
Verse 1. Sorry, y'all.
Mm.
Did you find it?
Yeah, my computer is moving very slowly. I may just have to pick up. Okay, here we go. You said verse 1.
Yeah, start at verse 1.
Okay, and it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy Elohim will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim.
Listen, y'all, it's just this simple. If we listen to do what he has asked us to do by keeping his law, statutes, and commandments, that he would set us on a high place above every nation. But what we have done, we have put ourselves into debt following the laws of other people,
Mm-hmm.
in embracing the customs and the services of our enemies
Mm-hmm.
in these strange lands. It is so ironic to me that when you talk to Christians about Torah or keeping the law, their first reaction is no man can keep the law. But they strive to keep the laws of this country
Yes.
without flaw. So who is your God?
Yeah.
There are laws in the books in this country that we don't even know. Yahuwah Elohim has given us 613 statutes, commands, and laws, some for the natural person, some for the Levitical priesthood, some
Mm-hmm.
dietary, some he's given us things to do, and we just refuse to try in the fact that we can't make it all. We can't do it all. Where in West Hale do we do this? Only with the word of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Only with Yahuwah Elohim. Only with our Abba Father do we give up before we get started.
Mm-hmm.
No man can keep Torah. Oh, Torah this, the law that. The church has gotten so beside itself. What's going on, Nisi? The church has gotten so caught up in this lie that you can't keep Torah that they just threw it all away
Mm-hmm.
to the point to where John chapter 1 verse 3 tells you law that sin is transgression of the law. They won't even teach that. They say law is missing the mark. Excuse me, that sin is missing the mark.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the mark? Torah. They tell you you don't need the law. But Revelations 14 and 12 clearly tells you the patience of the saints are those that have faith in Elohim, in Yeshua HaMashiach, and those who keep what? The law,
Mm-hmm.
the commandments.
Commandments. Yeah.
It is a gymnastics trick. Look, my wife loves to watch gymnastics so much to the point that if she can't watch it on TV, she watches it on her phone. Christianity is a gymnast. It flips over everything it's supposed to do
Yeah.
and lands on the other side, hoping not to get injured. There are no more Judeo Christians Then the Ashkenazim are the children of Israel, and our struggle to get out of debt, we have placed ourselves in more debt because we have a belief system that tells us that we can do whatever it is we want to do, and all we got to say is, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to work to be saved. Do you understand how crazy that sounds when you hear it? You don't have to work on your salvation. Somebody else did it all for you. That's like moving in a house with no bills.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to do no upkeep. All you got to do is move in. I ain't found one of them yet. Even when I lived in my father-in-law's house, there were things I needed to do. Y'all, we as a people need to get our heads out of our fourth point of contact, which is your bottom, and focus on the book,
Mm-hmm.
not the doctrines surrounding the book, but
Right.
the book itself.
Book of self.
When I hear someone say, you don't have to keep the law, and then you look in Galatians chapter 5, I think, or chapter 6, and it starts talking about the fruits of the Spirit, it also tells you about being lawless. Why would you have to worry about lawlessness if you don't have to keep the law? Then when you throw it up and you mention it, you're wrong. Because everybody's so comfortable in just coming as you are.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is come as you are and believe. Well, and then you read over scriptures like faith without works is dead. Um, if you love me and keep not my commandments, you a lie and the truth ain't in you. Like I keep on telling you, them red letters may as well be an invisible ink. Because Paul has more say so in your life than what the Messiah himself. Paul didn't die for you. There ain't a cross that Paul died on for you. When Paul was crucified for Paul. Paul had sin. So we build this wall knowing that outside influences are going to hinder progress, but
Mm-hmm.
it should not hinder process.
Mm-hmm.
When we build on the foundation which is solid. That same rock that Peter talked about. But we also build on Torah
Mm-hmm.
because Torah has not changed from the time of its inception.
No.
Yah's will for his people have not changed since he hooked up with Abram. Because Yah does not go back on his promises.
Mm-mm.
You just have to build. If you got to take shifts, yeah, we all get tired. So somebody else can pick up the mantle for a
Mm-hmm.
little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph does it for me every year. I get worn out. Okay, I'm gonna preach. I'm gonna teach until you tell me you ready to teach again.
Mm-hmm.
We get tired. The race is hard, but you have to endure to the end.
Mm-hmm.
He that endured to the end shall be saved.
Mm-hmm.
Or let me just put it in layman's terms: he that do it, him that have the endurance to last, will be delivered from his enemies.
Mm-hmm.
The church will tell you that you are saved once you are baptized, but you still in captivity and still in the land of your enemies. That's why it's impossible for you to go forward and build a wall, because you don't realize that you're in captivity.
Right.
You don't realize that you got enemies.
Yeah.
And most part, the enemy that you really have is the one you let baptize you.
Yeah.
There's processes in
Yes.
place that Yahuwah has put in from the beginning of time. How do you think he's able to pinpoint his people? Because there's processes. He knows what he's looking for. He knows what is being developed. That's why he never had a problem with Abraham having his son and he able to pick which son he liked.
Mm-hmm.
Or when Isaac had children, which one he cut for. Or
Mm-hmm.
even when Joseph had children and he knew which ones he wanted to
Mm-hmm.
cut for. He loved them all,
Mm-hmm.
but there were some people that he needed to have specific privileges.
Mm-hmm.
Judah wasn't special per se, but Judah was the first one to say, "Oh, look, we done sold my brother into captivity. Got to get him out."
Mm-hmm.
Reuben was the oldest. Reuben was supposed to have the blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Reuben was born with not only the priesthood, but also the king, with the royalty.
Mm-hmm.
He lost both.
Yes.
BOFUM, both of them. So that through Judah, Mashiach comes.
Yes.
Building the wall, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Establishing the relationship. Do you understand, in building something, you are actually building connections?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Bless you.
thank you, thank you. We battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers in diverse places. Why is that? Because whenever you begin to get on Yah's side, Hasatan wants to steer you away from it.
Yes.
And he'll use the very people you love, you cherish, you care about, to see if how they feel means more to you than what Yah told you to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know why most men that are in this walk don't have peace? Because their spouses won't get on board.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cult. I don't understand it. It ain't for you to understand. Get your butt on board and learn.
Mm-hmm.
If you respect my headship, then shut up and get in the boat. We're leaving.
Mm-hmm.
If you love me like you say you do, and you honor your husband, shut up
Mm-hmm.
and get in the boat. We're leaving. I I just don't know. Why don't you know? Because you want to control something? Do you understand? And people, y'all looks at the head first.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout that whole conversation that Adom and Chawar had with y'all when they were deceived, the biggest punishment fell upon Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Because you listened to the woman, from now on you gonna have to work by the sweat of your brow. Thorns and thistles. God no. Do you understand? And you want I'm going to put enmity between you and your husband, and pain you gonna have when you having childbirth. Hell, you ain't having babies every day. But I got to put my hand on that plow every day,
Every day.
and you want to lead. And half of you can't control the children in the house, but you want to control the man. Make that make sense. You can't control what's shot out of you, but you want to control the man. And I'm talking about the man that's trying to live according to the scripture. I
Yeah.
ain't talking about Tyrone and them. I'm talking about the man that's trying to live according to the Torah. You can't see nothing wrong in what he's doing except he ain't going to your church. I don't know why y'all going out to them damn woods to set up tents for. You don't have to do all that. Oh, but watch night service coming. You got to stay up all night and give up half your paycheck. You gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they having a retreat. Oh, let's celebrate Passover. Oh, they having a convocation. What convocation? This is a whole this right here in the book. It says this is a holy convocation.
Mm-hmm.
What you doing ain't no holy convocation. It's just some Negroes getting together.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the church full of women. I got to listen to my pastor. What? Go marry your pastor and see what the first lady putting up with. You know why she got that big ass hat on? Because she don't want you to look her in her face because she probably miserable. Y'all, I'm telling you this because if we're going to build as a nation, if we're going to come back to y'all, all the pieces need to be in place. The head need to be the head, the body need to be the body.
Mm-hmm.
The husband's got to lead. And if you can't allow a man to lead you, then go ahead and let him go. If you want to do it all on your own, because most of the people that are telling you you don't want your husband to lead you, and I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent, Why that you don't want your husband to lead you? Half of them women are single.
Mm-hmm. More than half.
You got a good man. That joker busting his butt, giving you the money, letting you manage the. He taking out a couple of dollars here and there so he can have some money to get a haircut and put some gas in his car, buy him a couple of cheeseburgers, have a good time. And you don't respect that. But that girl down the street that can't keep a man in her 50s, got 4 or 5 baby daddies, legs open every weekend. Oh, her word is gold. Y'all, we are trying to build. We are in the process of building because when Yahuwah comes back, when he sends Yahusha back for us, we got to look like something. He's got to see it in us. Not an outwardly show, but a not just on the outside. It's gotta permeate through us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't think that the master don't know his sheep. What's gonna happen? He talking about a flamingo top. What Stefan's silly. What's gonna happen is we are going to allow cultures that are not truly our own distort what's going on in the kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to leave some people out. I love April. Y'all knows I do. But she can stay here. If y'all is calling and she ain't listening to me,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell her, baby, y'all said it's time for us to go. And she say, what about Imani? Well, you just go ahead and wait on Imani then. Because I'm out. It's time to go right now. Well, I got to get something out of the house. He didn't say that. He said, look up now.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, baby, but I can't. Ugh. And you see it in this scripture in verse 1 and 2, the women are crying out that something's going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because they on board with the program. Ain't no nothing in the world better than a partner that's on with the program.
Yeah.
When you got a spouse that is spousing, I ain't talking about the kind of spouse. Now, I done had this spouse. I done had this spouse twice. When you pull up to the house, you just sit in the car and you let the engine run until you start looking at your gas hand drop.
mm.
You ain't talking to nobody. You ain't got nobody on the phone. It's just you and your playlist and your regrets. Whew, let me get ready to go in this house. This is gonna be a war.
Mm.
Your kids looking out the window, Daddy outside.
Oh boy.
You got to answer 50 questions. I'm just trying to unwind from work. That ain't the truth. The truth is you trying to prepare for her.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say this, man. My second wife, boy, ooh, you talking about I was sitting there, ooh. Because if anything went wrong, it was a fight.
Yeah.
It was an argument. Y'all had to give me April because we don't argue. Now we get into it. We have gotten into it, but we don't argue. She say what she gonna say. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and then we gonna leave it right there. And if we got to pick it up again, we pick it up with calm heads.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing that. Uh, you got something, Joseph?
Yeah, the going back into Nehemiah, some notes that I made as you were sharing with us. Um, so repairing the wall in modern terms, it was restoring. This was a practical blueprint in Yah's plan to restore our community. Okay,
Yes.
we were restoring the community, restoring the economy of amongst our people. And as Nehemiah was there helping to restore that community, the Nehemiah, along with the other leaders, they had a heart for the people. They loved the people, and they weren't out to use the people. See, the people, in that community at that time, it was the physical wall that was being repaired, but there was also that
Spiritual.
community, that neighborhood, that what we would call inner city that needed to be restored. And what we see here in Nehemiah chapter 5 is the blueprint to restoring our community. Number one, we had to stop using and abusing one another.
Come on now.
Our people, we had classism. Let's talk about classism in here. The leader, so-called leadership within that was in the walls that were torn down, that were burnt up, and they were being used and abused by the enemy. Within those walls, the elite, the some of those who had, they weren't necessarily rich, but they had a little something, they owned a little land, they were taking advantage of those that were in that needed to eat. So these people were, this was the complaint that the wives brought up. Okay, we have mortgaged our land, we mortgaged our vineyards, we've even had to mortgage our children, and we had to borrow money to pay our tax to the king, and we're drowning in debt.
Come on,
And we
preach.
were taught in the covenant, we were taught you don't you lend money to your brother, but you don't charge him interest. You don't charge usury. And so the wealthy, those that had the haves, were oppressing their own brother by charging usury. And then when the people went into debt because of the usury, the ones that had would repossess, they extorted the people, they extorted the poor by repossessing and foreclosing on the little stuff that they had.
Boy, you about to make me shout in here.
Okay, and so they couldn't rebuild. They're in the homeland, but they're in their own community, in their own neighborhood, but they couldn't rebuild because there was no the resources. The Father had told the Most High, the Father had told us as part of the covenant, do not charge your people interest. And so not only did we not do that, but we went further. Let's bring this home. Not only were they doing that, but in addition to that, they were charging their people, their own brother and sister, not just interest, but these subprime. I wrote some notes here, Yemi, while you were talking. Subprime, high interest payday loans to their own people.
Come on.
And when the people couldn't pay, not only did they take their land, they took their vineyards, they took their tools, they took it, including their children. And when they took the children, when they took the sons and daughters, you know what they did with the sons and daughters? They took. I'm not talking about the outside. They took the sons and daughters and sold them to the Sanballats and the Tobias and the outsiders.
Bro, you
This ran Nehemiah hot
fish grease.
as fish grease. So here's the blueprint. Okay, that if we ever came back to the knowledge of who we are and what we were supposed to do according to the covenant, you got and I'm gonna name some names here. You got like your congressional black caucus and your legislators and your congress people and your senators and your mayors and your I'm talking about those that are part of the people of the book, or people of the covenant. Instead of doing all this legislation to oppress people and to get over on folk, they would use the resources to rebuild a community. The business leaders and the industry leaders that are in the community would use the resources and would join hands with the people that have not to rebuild the community. But instead of that, they were using this interest, the usury, and again, a subprime, high interest, payday loans. They were using the proceeds from that to enrich themselves. Not Sanballat, not Tobiah, not the Arabians, not the what they call them, the Arabians and the what's the other name, the Arabs, the Arabs and those enemies looking at them laughing. They couldn't get their own stuff together. And this is the condition that we're in right now today. They looking at us laughing because we using one another, we're abusing one another. We can't get on the same page. We not working to we working to get now the legislators and the senators and the Congress. They working on getting reelected, but they're not working on repairing the breach in the community. And the man of Yah, the man of God, Nehemiah, he's looking at it. He's mad. He is hot, and he calls him into account. See, listen, we can't abuse and use our own. We need to work with our own. So here's the thing. I hope y'all, just in case you didn't see this, here it is. He's saying, listen, down there in the latter part of that chapter, he said, listen, y'all gonna pay, y'all are gonna pay your brothers and your sisters, you're gonna pay reparation. You're gonna give them back what they borrowed. You're gonna give it back to them with interest. Now I'll go back and read chapter 5. You're gonna give it back. You're gonna give them back the interest that you charged them. And then he went beyond that, and he went to the church house, the synagogue, and said, okay, you priests and you apostles and you bishops, y'all been taking money from these people. Talking about it's 2025, so I want $2,025 from each one of y'all in what month is this?
Okay.
It's still October. What is October? Whatever it is, October. They say, and since it's October 21st, I want $1,021. I need a 1,021 line. I need a 2025 line. And they use that. They use that to secure a loan for the building, and they send that money to Sanballat and Tobiah. They send that money to Chase Bank and Wells Fargo and Bank of America and what's the other bank? All them other banks, and they get the money and they laughing at you, laughing and counting. This was the condition in Nehemiah chapter 5. And y'all, guess what? Because the word can't lie and the Father has not changed, and there's nothing, as King Solomon says, what has been done is what will be done. There's nothing new under the sun, and it's still happening right today.
To this day.
To this very day. I'm gonna share this illustration, and I'm gonna give it back to Yemi so y'all can see that it's happening today. Back in 2000, we'll say prior to 2008, that was when the housing boom collapsed. Yemi,
Mm.
when the house when the mortgage thing collapsed was that around 2008.
Yep, 2008.
Okay, let me share the story with you. This you can go look this up, research it. Don't believe what I say. Research it. You had black African American, whatever you want to call them, so-called real estate agents who knew that they were selling their people subprime, what they call Alt A loans, subprime loans, high interest loans, adjustable rate mortgages. They were selling, they were selling our people those loans, and they knew what was going to happen. But the money was so good, and the commissions were so high. And so the consumer, the brother, the consumer was going in, getting a house, getting these zero, what do you call them,
Down payment.
zero down payments, low interest rate loans, and they were pushing this stuff to their own people, knowing full well what was going to happen.
Until year 3.
And so when year 3 came, instead of your mortgage being $1,100, it went to $3,300 when that interest rate spiked. And our own people, our real estate agents and loan officers, and our own people, we go to the bank talking, oh, I got a black loan officer, I got a black real estate agent, I got a black this and a black that, and they were in on it, along with the Wells Fargo, along with the Bank of America, along with Chase Bank, along with what was that one local that mortgage company?
Oh man, I
Was
can't
it
remember.
Nationwide or
Yeah.
I may have the name wrong, but y'all can do your research. All
Countrywide. Countrywide.
Countrywide. There you go, Countrywide. And so when that boom, when that balloon or that boom burst, that balloon burst, our people lost half of their wealth. We lost half of our wealth because wealth is you build up equity in you build up equity in your mortgage or in your home loan or in your home. You build up equity. With all that equity, whatever we had, that equity and that asset was lost. And this is what made Nehemiah. How they ain't changed. Just some of the terms have changed, but the scheme, the game, the trick, and the deception has not changed. And guess what? If we had a Nehemiah today, what would have happened was that Nehemiah would have rose up and said, listen, you real estate agent, you mortgage loan people, and you those that run those banks, you black VPs of these banks, you're going to give these people back their money plus interest with the house. They're going to keep the house. They're going to get the loan. They're going to get the proceeds from the loan that you cheated and the interest that you charged them because you wasn't supposed to be charging them interest. Give it all back.
And they were gonna be sick.
But it didn't happen that way, did it?
Nope.
See what we see in the scriptures, y'all. Yah, he doesn't change. He can't lie. And his prescription, his as Yemi says, his standard is the standard. It's the standard for prosperity of the people. Not to mean they driving Cadillacs, they slamming what I can't say, but they slamming Cadillac doors.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Slanging.
yeah, swinging Cadillac doors. I know that the people they had homes, and even if they did have a loan out, they weren't as Jimmy was saying at the beginning. It's not the loan, it's the interest. on the loan. It's the interest on the mortgage. It's the interest on the car note. It's the interest on it's the 29% interest on the credit card that's got us in debt. That's got us and not in debt, but got us in bondage. They got us taking out loans and opening up accounts in our children's name. So our kids got a jacked up credit profile before they even get started. Y'all, this is let's bring it home. Let's make it work. Let's make it make sense in the modern context. We jacked.
Bruh, I had a Dillard's credit card at 10 years old. I ain't find out until I was 27.
Yeah.
And then when I confronted the said person who got the credit card in my name, their response was, "Is it on time?"
Now, now we laughing, y'all. We laughing to keep from crying. But listen, it's the same thing that Nehemiah was fighting against. It, how many thousands of years ago? We fighting that same fight today.
You didn't make no payments on it. It's in my name. What happened if you didn't make a payment on it? Boy, when my daddy found out that joker was hot as fish grease, bruh, you gonna cut that card up. You got this card in that boy's name. And I used to wonder why that joker was, don't touch that mail. Oh, because I got a card coming in, I got a card statement in my name coming to the house.
So instead of building, listen, this is what was happening with Nehemiah, with our ancestors Nehemiah and his people. So instead of building generational wealth, we were building generational debt,
Yes.
generational bondage. It has not changed.
I'm done, y'all. I'm done. We go. We gonna be in chapter 6 next week. But I want y'all to understand this and read chapter 6 too, including all the names. It's important. It'll make sense. We're gonna close with prayer, and then you got anything else you want to add before we go?
No, sir.
Because I got a bowl of I got a bowl of chicken and dumplings waiting on me. See, I don't want Stefan to hear it because he gonna be calling me for the recipe. Oh, shoot. He gonna be calling me in a few minutes for the recipe,
What's
y'all.
that recipe?
What's all in it? But let's go ahead and pray. Abba Father, we thank you for another Shabbat. We thank
Yes,
you
yes.
for Yahusha HaMashiach. Yahweh, we thank you for the Ruach HaKodesh. We thank you for the covenant made between our father Abraham and yourself.
Yes.
We thank you for the renewing of the covenant and its protection through the blood of the Mashiach.
Yes.
Yah, we thank you for paying off our debts before we were even born. And Yah, we thank you for salvation which is to come.
Yes.
Yah, we thank you for these trials that we are going through because they bring forth character. We thank you for allowing us to awaken to the understanding of who we are
Yes.
and giving us the drive and motivation to seek out your will and your way.
Yes.
Yah, we ask that you make things clearer and more understandable to us. And as we go through our day and our walk, let us be willing to share your good news with the world. That we have your law as a standard, but we also have redemption through the Yahusha HaMashiach.
Yes.
And let us be able to articulate to those who are lost, those who are still asleep, that you can't have one without the other.
Yes.
Because law without redemption is a sentence that we cannot handle. And redemption without law leads us in a path in the wilderness.
Yes.
Abba Yah, we thank you for the nation. And we thank you for those who are awakening. We thank you for those who understand our plight. We thank you for our families and our friends. We ask that you would continue to forgive us for our trespasses and allow us to forgive those who have trespassed against us. Let us not fall into temptation, but deliver us. For you are the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. And we say, Hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
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 Y'all, I'm about to get me some chicken and dumplings. Hopefully, my wife will get up and put a bowl in the microwave. I appreciate everybody. I love y'all. Thank you once again for your support, your prayers, and your faithfulness in showing up. Listen, we ain't trying to preach to millions, but for those 10, 15 people that show up every week, we thank you. It's motivation. And until we meet again, peace, family.
Shabbat shalom, family.
Talk to you later, bro.
All right.